Eric and Tian are senior learners who have discovered the joy of reading. They share their experiences about how reading has influenced them and expanded their world.
I like books with movies. Do you guys know the book or movie The Fault in Our Stars? It's like two cancer kids, they fall in love with each other, and it's just a really nice story. But I read the book first, and then I watched the movie afterwards, and it's so nice to see how it links up together. Yeah, because you read the book, and you can tell how much more information the book has than the movie. It's really nice. I think it's the first book I looked forward to reading instead of having it as a chore like when you go to school and having to read for the teacher. Yeah, and that book was just really good because opened up my vocabulary a lot too. My sister, she goes to university in Otago and she just bought a couple of books back from there. For me, when I have free time, I would always just kick back in the bed and read some of that. Because I'm a pretty big gamer. And that's one thing that I used to look forward to more than gaming at the time. But I really haven't found another book since.
Over my junior years in primary school, I guess I wasn't the best reader and I wasn't the most confident, and that's kind of why I shied away from it a lot. And I started to grow older, and I met some good friends along the way, and I guess I always felt left out when they were quite confident readers and stuff. So I thought I'd pick up a book one day, started reading, then I started losing track of time. Next thing I know, I was through 3 or 4 books. I was chatting away with my friends about them. Yeah, I think I owe it to reading where I am today. I've read a bit about Greek myths and legends. I quite like that because I grew up playing the God of War games and stuff like that. And I think that's what got me into the Myths and Legends book. That was one of the first books I picked up. In some Myths and Legends, they talk about how the world was created and stuff. And I'm not particularly religious or anything, but I just like learning about that stuff. As a kid, I was quite dramatic growing up. It was more because when I lived with my grandparents, I wasn't around other kids so often. I love poetry, I love Shakespeare, I love music. And one of my teachers had read a few lines from Shakespeare and I was like, yeah, that's cool. I was 10 or something. And I was like, yeah, that's so cool. And I still listen to Shakespeare now from time to time. It can just be soothing. Recently, because I always get tied up doing other stuff like schoolwork, all my assessments and whatnot, I find myself reading less. But it was a good opportunity to, get into audiobooks. So I think my first audiobook was Unbroken, Louis Zamperini, because I quite like history as well. Over lockdown, I found myself just reading a lot. And with everything going on in the world, because, a lot of us had predicted the world going into apocalyptic wastelands or something like that. I kind of used reading as an escape to escape society even more, to isolate from my self-isolation. But I enjoyed it. It wasn't good because of COVID, but I was productive with the time I had, and I believe it changed me in a way. I like to think that I'm more open-minded now because of it. When I was reading the stories, I thought I was the character. How would I encourage young people to read more? I guess just read something you're interested about or you enjoy. I'm quite surprised that how many times I've read something that I was quite interested in, and then I totally forget that time exists and there's the rest of the world still moving around me. Definitely giving them the opportunity to dive deeper into what they want to learn. But I mean, like, everyone reads, like, you're always reading, you know. You might not know it, but sometimes some people might read someone's, like, you know, the way that someone sits. You know, you may not be reading words, but you're reading their body language. You know, if you're scrolling through Facebook, you tend to, like, look at a meme, you're reading again. Or, you know, when you're texting a friend, you're still reading. So I think we're always reading, you know, and our minds are always thinking about, like, reading.